Now that we have all 6 pieces cut to the proper length and the edges jointed, we come on over here to the clamp rack and we're getting ready to glue it all together. A couple things you're going to need prior to is take a look at it, organize the pieces of wood. Sometimes you're looking at the grains to make sure that it's where you want it. How it looks the way you want it. Maybe there's knots on here you're trying to avoid, or maybe there's knots you're trying to show off, different colorations, etc. For this one, I don't really care too much, but I do want to point out that we need to pay also attention to the end grain right here. Remember I talked about how Mother Nature likes to warp a wood, piece of wood, depending on how it's cut out of the tree. And so we like to take a look here and make sure that all of the pieces are not facing the same way. So some of the pieces of wood will have what I call a smile to it, a smile, or it could be a frown as well. All right, so we would not want to do this where we're basically putting the tree back together. And that's helping Mother Nature to possibly warp this. So that's the reason that we cut this into 6 pieces and then glue it back together. If we went and found a board that was 12 inches wide, sure, we could use it for the top, but it might very likely warp on us and cause us trouble down the way. So we want to take a look here at the grains and try to do the best we can and get our grains to be alternating as best we can. Okay, so I've got it the way I want it right now, and I want to point out a couple things you're going to need as I stack this up. What I'm going to do is push this like so and stack these up like yo, and that exposes this green tin. You will need a green tin like this to protect let me see here. We don't want glue on our clamp rack, and we really don't want glue on our threads for our handle, okay? And before you do all this, you also want to make sure that you have enough threads to give you the range of motion when you do your clamping. So open up your clamps by giving yourself a lot of threads, and then when you choose your green panel here, green sheet, try to find one without any glue on it, or go get a chisel and scrape some of the glue off so that it's flat. Now I have I'm going to put my piece back together. I'm going to put my piece there, cover up the threads, and I have this packed together like this because I'm going to spread some glue on there with a scrap stick. And I also need just kind of a filler block. We'll see how that comes into play later on. One thing that I forgot to mention, that when I had these laid out, I want to make sure that I avoid any type of gaps. I'm looking for gaps before I apply the glue. I want to make sure that my pieces are going to fit tightly, and so I do not want those at all. Yuck. All right, that will have points removed. Okay, so now I have these 5 pieces. I'm going to grab some glue here, and unlike the triangles on your sofa server, you'll want to use a little bit more glue on this operation, but not so much that we just get glue everywhere. We do want to get 100% coverage on our edge. I maybe have a little bit too much glue, but I guess I'd rather err on too much glue in this particular operation than not enough. Oop, that one had a lot. All right. Okay, now we come along like so, and we just tip these down and smear them back and forth. That helps to get everything 100% covered. 100% covered there. All right. Okay, and then I use this filler right here because the clamp jaws on the back here, the clamp jaws, sometimes they don't come together parallel. Let me see if I can get a better angle here. They don't come together parallel. Sometimes they come together at an angle like that. And when they do, they might cause this to bend up as you're clamping it. So it's helpful to have just kind of a dummy piece right here that's not part of the project and glued. And I've just found that will take the bending and the pressure, and your project is less likely to. All right, so there we go. I got the clamp jaws brought forward. We just tip those forward like so, and then turn the handle until we get some gentle pressure. Nothing serious. Just some gentle pressure on here until the glue starts to squeeze out. And I want to keep one of these edges perfectly, or as best I can, straight right here. Maybe you found some pieces that were 16 inches long and 14, 15, 16, 17 inches long. Leave one end go wild and get the other end nice and straight. So I've got that end nice and this end nice and straight. I'm also looking to make sure that nothing is going up or down like that. If it does go up or down, then I have to sand off the top and the bottom, and my piece gets to be a lot skinnier or thinner as we go. Now, because I have, I'm gonna apply a little bit more pressure here and squeeze some glue. And I'm not gonna just put everything I have into this, because I could technically squeeze all the glue out with this. I could put that much pressure on there. Now, this is coming together pretty nice, and I could just walk away from it. However, if I felt like this was lifting up on me, then I could get one of these clamps right here hanging out on the back of the clamp rack and put that on top. You see how this jaw right here has a slight angle to it? That will counter the action of the other clamps as it clamps together. So I can do this and put that on there like so. And that'll help straighten out my project if it were curving, but it's not, so I didn't really need it, but I did it for this video here in demonstration. Now, what I wished I had was a pencil to write my name on there. Definitely write your name on here so that you can claim it when you come back the next day. All right, so there you have it. This is gluing up your sofa server top.